Well, we haven't spoken yet. Let's see how verbal I am. But well, I'm a late. I mean, I sort of I'm happy late at night, so I hope I'm be coherent as well, and I'm going to to into your energy now, my lovely, and I'm going to get all of the sunshine and all of that, all of the vibe from you. And I'll yes, sort of chilled. I love how chilled you feel. You are all the time. I need to. It needs to rub on me a bit after this conversation, girl.
Well, it took a few years of living in the tent for me to become very chilled out.
Well, you are going to write the books now, and you're going to become the guru of the tent.
No,
Joking.
it's not. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. Um, when I was living in Italy, I had let me see, Alessio and Michela. Her name was Michela, and she was from Romania, and they had met. It was an Italian, and he'd do work on, interesting little careers that they have right out there. So apparently, when you do your electrical lines, part of the maintenance is you have to get a crew on a helicopter to go with a machine to try to trace these electrical lines to see if there's any like bursts and unbalances of electricity and all that. So he went to Romania to do this work, and he met Michela. And I had never met anybody from Romania before, right? So she was telling me about a little bit about how it was. I mean, Michela is she's probably 20 years younger than me, so she would be in her 40s now.
Right.
And I was just really fascinated because she was telling me, for example, that she was comfortable in speaking Italian because they used to watch Italian films in Romania. They would be subtitled.
Yeah.
And so they were following along between English and reading Italian subtitles. They were, figuring out what's going on. And so she was much more equipped to speak Italian,
Yeah, she got
I thought go ahead.
I'm just saying that for us, it was one of the bonuses of one of the pluses of living in Romania was exactly that we were able to listen to the sounds of different languages. So because of the subtitles, so we were our ear. It's like we are probably more musical. We were able. Whenever we go abroad, we absorb the language, especially if we've been exposed to it, like the Spanish or Italian or Portuguese, but also because, Romanian, it's a Latin language.
Right.
So there are lots of familiar, I mean, we have a similar roots and the cadence of the words, many words are similar. So it's, I would say it's easier for us to get the grips with Latin-based languages. So I bet you had a beautiful accent as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was just a wonderful opportunity of meeting somebody from an area that had gotten so much publicity in the West, had been the storytelling of the West had been such that there was so much distance and separation created because of that,
Yeah.
So I'm just fascinated by how old were you when you moved to the UK? Was it directly from Romania?
Yeah, I was 35 when I moved
And
to the UK.
what brought the move? What brought the decision to move?
I got married to a Brit. That's thing, but also, I mean, on a different matter, I could say, I mean, you are going to laugh at that, LaMakhosi, because I run away. I run away at 35.
Because I'm
Can
thinking
you
to
imagine
myself,
huh?
I would imagine that Romania would give you a lot better choices of climate and environments than the UK, no?
You'd better believe it, girl. You better believe it. But hey, I mean, it was a difficult. I mean, I think we need to stay for 2 days nonstop and tell you about this type of moment in my life. Because you know how it is. I never dreamt of coming to England. England was
Mhm.
not on my radar, no,
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
But
Yes.
life happened, and as I said, I ran away because we both share our mother, so very difficult personalities, don't we?
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
that's a reason. So that's a reason.
Yeah.
But at 35, you can you imagine? One runs away at 18 or at 17 or something, but not
Right.
me. I'm stubborn. I keep going. Yeah. So there
So
you
tell
are,
me
and I'm still
this.
trying. Yeah.
In your reflections, what you ran away from, did you find it there in the UK anyway?
I don't think I don't think so. I was running away from sort of from narcissism. I was running away from this, and you know how it is that English saying. You jump from the frying pan into the fire or something like that.
Right.
So
Yes.
well,
Yes.
I keep jumping, which is good. I'm not fried. I keep jumping, and I have stories to tell, girl. So. You
Please. Whatever just flows for you. Whatever flows for you. I'm just
Oh,
happy to be here. When I
uh,
read your first post, there was such a sense of a spirit of kinship. Like
mm,
I think this woman and I would have a really interesting conversation.
oh
What
yeah.
she has discovered in her own life, in her whole own becoming, you know. And it also helps that I have this envy of your ability to just take up a color or take up a pencil or charcoal or
Oh,
paint and draw. I just,
oh really? I mean, see, it's amazing how that's. I'm telling you, I can see ourselves both around the fire, and talking, and you drumming, me painting. I mean, it's so natural. I can see ourselves because I love your drumming, and for me, is it a how do you call it? Is it a frame drum? Is it like
I don't know what
Iranian
it's
drum?
it's called it's a hand drum. It's from Pakistan. Yes.
Ah, yes, of
Its
course.
origin is Pakistani. Yes.
Yeah, because it's Pakistani, but also exactly because it's very close to the Iranian one. It's a frame drum, which is
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
one of my favorite instruments is a frame drum because I
Yeah.
love Iranian music. Probably you've seen all of this sort of part of the world I'm passionate about. And when I saw your drum all the time, but I've connected immediately.
Yes.
Besides your storytelling, because as I said, you have a capacity to connect with the ancient sound. For me, you're
Uh-huh.
channeling.
Yeah.
Probably that you're performing your channeling. So
I know there are otherworldly, sounds. And when you shared the other day, what was the name of that artist? Sammy? Was it Sammy, the first name?
Yusef, yes, Sami Yusef,
Sami Yusef. And I listened to that entire, and of course, and I saw their frame drum with the cymbals that
yes,
it just gives me chills.
I'm sure.
Absolutely gives me chills. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I recognize some of what comes through me,
Yeah.
of that time and from that space. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. You are from that story. You are from that story, and that's what when I shared that I wondered whether you will connect with this because it is so you as well.
Mm.
You can jump in that world,
Mm.
and
Mm.
you don't need to learn anything. Will express it, and you will just be part of that group
Mm.
it's a universe. It's a universe,
Mm.
and I think
Mm.
that music connects so much. I mean, that type of music, I would say, that type of music,
Mhm.
the music that you play, uh, you don't need the language, you don't need words
Mm.
for that.
Mm.
And I
And
am
your
now
art is
following
that
you.
way.
Mm.
Yeah, but your art is that way as well too, that it doesn't require a language. Do you find yourself drawing women for the most part?
Yeah, it's it is fascinating because it's like a compulsion. It's very
Mm-hmm.
strange. It's like a
Mm.
compulsion, and it also it's I now if I am to analyze, it's like a soothing. It's my way. I realize it's my way of
Mm-hmm.
soothing the nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
and probably telling the stories I can't tell in words. You
Mm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
because they do come. My husband says, "Oh, but they're the same." I said, "No, they are not the same. For me, they have a different
Mm.
energy." And
Mm-hmm.
I can tell a story after that about that. I
Mm.
said, not when I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. Probably you recognize
Right.
that. You don't know. I mean, I have no
Yes.
clue where it's going. I know that I
Yes.
start with a line or with a curve, and then I keep going. And sometimes it is compulsion to do 7 or 8, one after the other. It's,
Yes.
oh, yeah,
Yes.
it's a fascinating process. And I always, this is one of my way also probably just encouraging people to do that, to let go and get going,
Mm. Mm.
because
Mm-hmm.
what comes will amaze anybody, will
Yes.
amaze you
Yeah.
because you say, oh, I can't. Yeah, you just get the hand on the pen and just
Yeah.
allow things to come through you.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's one of the reasons why I think I told myself for so long that I wasn't a creative person.
mhm,
And it's really because I had so much perfectionism and
uh-huh,
so much a standard of how it should be that I wasn't able to allow myself to be a baby in something, to be an infant in something, to be a toddler in
mm,
something, to not be for it not to be a pretty picture,
yeah,
for it to just evolve and you just keep working with it. That's something that my journey with sound has really gotten me to understand about art and putting art on paper, is that I've been impatient and needing to be really good and skip all the in between stages, you know? When did you
yeah.
find yourself doodling? Is this something from childhood or?
No, see, that's what it was fascinating when you mentioned your barriers to creativity.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
no, only because I come from that communist society where if you had a talent, so the traditional talent, where you were going to this particular school, which which was all about drawing or painting, or everything was
Right.
very regimented. So
Mhm.
I had no clue I will ever paint or anything like that
Mhm.
until 30. I was 35, and
Mm.
my father was dying. And this is when my fiance brought me a painting by numbers. He had no clue
Ah,
why, but he brought me this, thinking probably a part of him from England, thinking that
right.
maybe I will paint in the evening when I was coming from the hospital for my father.
Yeah.
And that's
Uh-huh.
what how it started. So I started with painting by numbers, you know, and I had no clue. I mean, what came after that was, I mean, I'm amazed, because no, not even in a million years I would have said that I would have exhibitions or I will teach sometime, and nothing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Honestly,
Wow. Who did
it's
you think you
ridiculous.
were up until that point? How would you have described yourself prior to artist?
Oh, I can tell you my see we're coming to identity. Yeah, my identity was 100%. I was a sales and marketing manager of a social
Ah,
marketing company. That's it.
ah,
And I was
ah. And you had your
and I
business
was a
cards too.
mechanical engineer. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no
Right.
clue who I was other than that. No clue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Uh, life puts one in circumstances, and it's how do you call it, it gives like a little push, a nudge,
Mm,
and then you
mm,
run with it, but it's
mhm,
nothing planned. Some people say, oh, you need to plan, you need to experiment. No, no, no,
mhm,
it's things.
mhm,
Our journeys are different. That's what I'm
mhm,
saying. and
mhm,
my journey was, it came out of the blue. Out
mhm.
of the blue.
Yeah.
And and
Yeah.
probably how did so music when was it? When was the first time that you felt that music is your voice? Music is a way of expressing your voice.
Um, oh, you know, the thing about it is that I had been someone who sang in
Ah,
the car. I sang in the shower. If I was in a certain mood, the song was there and it sounded like the vocals was accessible to me. I was an imitator of sound, right?
right.
And there was something in me that wanted to be a singer. There was
Mhm.
something in my child self that saw myself up on stage. But at the same time, I was terrified about being on stage and being looked at and being judged and being,
Yeah.
just the idea of someone saying, "Oh my God, she's horrible. Why is
Yeah.
she up?"
Oh, I know that. Oh my God. I can tell you stories as well about the paintings and about the old people saying, I can do that. Or my mother does a better job at that than you. Oh God. But but you need to go through this then to laugh at that, But yeah, my
Yes,
mom
because this
does a
is all.
better job.
And what I didn't have is I didn't have a parent or a guide or a mentor. Kind of love those out of the blue nudges. I didn't have a guide or a mentor to be able to say, insecurity is part of everybody's makeup. And it's only when you continue to practice that you will find that along the journey, those fears will drop away.
Yes.
Those concerns will drop away. So it didn't drop away from me. In my 20s, I was living in New York and I decided, okay, I'm going to be a singer now. Let me go and get voice lessons. And I went for a few voice lessons, but I wasn't at the standard that I wanted to be.
Ah.
And I thought to myself, I'm just wasting my money here. I'm not a Whitney, I'm not an Aretha Franklin. And if I can't be one of them, what am I doing here for? you know?
Wow, yeah. Your
Um,
gremlin was sort of whispering and shouting at you, wasn't it?
yeah.
Ah.
Yes. So it was something that was latent in me. And I would say that the journey to singing actually started around 2008 when a
Mm.
friend of mine my son and I were living in Italy and my friend, he was living in Berlin. And he says, put on this Facebook. This Facebook thing is going to be a thing. You should get a Facebook profile. I've got a profile. I went and I did the profile, but I didn't really do very much of it.
Mm.
And then within a year or two, he died.
Oh.
And I don't know, somewhere in the grieving process, I guess I decided, well, let me use this Facebook because this is one of the things I'm going to charge my phone.
Mhm.
This is one of the things Tony advised me about doing. So let me just
Mm.
do this Facebook thing, And I started to write.
Ah.
And that's where my voice actually started to develop, not in the singing, but just in the expressing.
Mm.
And I started practicing vulnerability and authenticity by writing, finding myself like before posting going, oh shit, I
Mm.
don't know if I'm,
Yeah.
am I crazy, sharing this out there? But I wanted to connect with people, I wanted to have a real genuine conversation.
Mm.
And so writing Facebook posts over the years then started to prep me for when energy started to really open up in me in 2017, 2018. And it started to be breaths, my
Mm.
whole body being breathed, and it started with channeling. There were so many levels
Yeah.
of the suppression of my voice
Mm.
from past lives, from this life, I have no idea. But
Yeah.
I had to have so many levels to be able to even get to sound coming out. And I've written before about when sound first started coming out. I was living in Asheville in a house, summertime, windows up to get the breeze, and there was sounds coming out of me. And I remember my first thing was to think, holy shit, what if my neighbors hear me?
Oh dear. We're going to all run
Right?
away now.
Right. Right. I was so concerned about what other people thought about my voice that even my neighbors hearing me was embarrassing to me, you know, kind of thing. So it's really been a very slow process happening. But once I started really connecting with how difficult it is for women to speak up, for marginalized people to speak up, it was kind of like, oh, no wonder this was so hard for me to get to.
Yeah.
Right? And no wonder this is the thing that really wanted to come out in me in this particular life, you know?
Yeah, but it was like a volcano, I think. It was just,
Yeah.
it was, and it's like when it broke through, and that was it.
Let me tell you, and the sounds that came through, Corina, the sounds that came through, there were animals and growls and tigers and bears. And I was inside going, what the fuck? Have you lost your mind?
I so get it. I so get it because that's what it's you connected to this ancestral, this raw, this everything which was suppressed was there, and you had to really let it rip. And I'm thinking, because it's amazing what you mentioned, because voice is important. And even for a woman, I mean, for a woman to be able to scream in the forest, for example, it's an amazing thing.
Yes.
Screaming, but
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to, because I know I'm so, because of this, my voice in that type of a voice, it's suppressed.
Right.
I wouldn't, because I would be embarrassed of myself. I don't care about the other ones. I don't give a
Right. Right.
it's even a bigger barrier. It's in me.
Right.
I think the biggest barrier is inside. And what you did actually, where you broke loose. You just, and probably one of your skill, and one of your sort of mission is also that, I think, to let other women growl. Really growl, because before we make any other sound, we do that. We do that. We imitate, we think about an animal that we want to imitate, and we go for that, because that is like the guide, you need a guide to remove whatever it is here. So it's all about here, the communication thing.
Right.
It's here. People have a knot. People have something which really suppresses them.
Yeah.
So
And it's amazing how to put your hand on it and then have this sound come out of you, and you feel that energy and that pressure just open up and let go. It's like, those are the moments when you realize, oh shit, this is the difference between the baggage I was carrying that I didn't realize I was carrying, and this sense of freedom that I have right now, you know?
Wow, yeah, I do, because I so do, because the energy, it's very different. Because I do this on a big scale, with painting. You get this movement. You can do it with really big brush strokes. Sometimes I was painting on big pieces of paper, right on the wall. That's another bonus. That's really the intuitive, the visceral painting. But I think it would be even more on a different level to get the sound going as well. The sound from inside, because I like to have sound from outside, like I had you. Sometimes with your music, with your sound, I paint, and it is
Ah!
yeah, because it
I was
brings.
just gonna ask you, what kind of music do you listen to when you draw and when you paint? Or do you
The one that you've seen, like Sami Youssef, that's definitely a lot. And everything which is connected to the part of the world which I love. It is Iranian, sort of. I listen to a lot of Qawwali. Qawwali is another. Qawwali.
I don't
it's a devotional music. I'm going to send you some music. It's fantastic. It's Sufi music. It's the Sufi side, devotional Sufi music. It's superb, and it's extremely again, it's very powerful voice, but also the instruments. It's the tambourines and all of it's the you'll be again, you will enjoy that. So I like strong, a very strong sound around me.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. I don't do soft.
Yes.
Not for painting. It's interesting, you know.
Right.
For reading, yes, but for
Right.
painting, no. I need really strong drums. It's a great thing for me because I love
Yeah.
drums. So yeah, but not not the Australian type of drumming, but this more on the Asian continent and so on drumming. You know, we
Right.
are all very different, and I think that I was born there in another life. I think, my friend, I think I was born there because I resonate so much with that type of sound,
Yeah.
and they're like opening, they're like guides. You know, the sound is a guide,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's a guide.
Yes, it is.
So
You know, during the process of sounds, I've had past life memories come through, as well. Do you find that with your drawing?
you
Do
know,
you
I
get
wish I
into a
could say
trance state?
I wish I could say yes, but no, I look at the paintings after that and I'm thinking, where is it from? This is from another place, especially because of the colors and the tones. And it is because my colors are very strong. They are sort of very, very much our Amazon. Many people were saying, oh, this is very Mexican type of painting, very from Peru, from
Right.
so I
Yes.
think that I'm also channeling. I'm always saying, and like with you, you're not the one singing. I'm not the one painting. I'm channeling. You know, there
Right.
are spirits coming and doing this with me. So, but yeah, I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember, you know, or just have this kind of a vision, but I don't. I would love to.
Okay. Well, it'll come. But I just thought, I wondered if do you dance at all when you are
Not
painting?
thrifty.
With those drums, I'm surprised that it keeps you, you know, you're able to stay in your body and not start drumming and not start dancing all over the place, flinging
That's the
paint
thing.
all over the place.
I can see the movement, but no, because again, I am very repressed. Everything is very repressed. So I dance. I've danced for 8 years flamenco, really, and I love that. Yeah, but it is structured. Yes, with the class, with the teacher who teaches. So,
Right.
and I do that. I love that because I love repetition. I love repetition, and I love
Yeah.
the shoes, and be repeating the steps many times. Oh,
Right.
I'm a ball of a time there. You know, yes, I love that. But again, it is structured. See, it's not freestyle. I wouldn't be able to do freestyle because again, repression. So that's why I love everything which is with a structure, like Tai Chi. You know, I've been practicing again for 8 years Tai Chi structure. You know,
Right.
you learn something and then you do it.
Right.
But give me to do something on my own, or my own imagination. No, I won't be able to do that. How strange! Well, look at you. There you are. You close up. My phone.
I was finding myself so difficult. You know, like to go to a dance class to follow somebody else's steps.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Really?
It just, yeah, I just can't get all the parts moving to follow them. Now, freestyle, where you just let me go, I can do that. So I'm completely the opposite. That's why I would love to do martial arts, but I don't think I'll ever get to even the white belt. You know, if the white belt is a test, I'm not even quite sure because I can't seem to control the limbs in the way that other people need them to be done, you know?
Well, have you been to a class? You know, you say that, and I hear you. But you know, if once you go there, you see that you might amaze yourself. And if it's a belt problem, go to Tai Chi. You know, they don't about belt there. You know, you go from one stage to another without a belt because maybe the belt is one of the barriers. You know, it could be.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, try that. Something, yeah, because I said I cannot. I mean, my camera is really doing bizarre things here. Anyway, I have no
Well,
clue where I am.
yours is, it looks fine from here. Mine was
Yeah.
having
Okay. Because it
problems with
looks bizarre. Anyway.
overheating.
Oh, yeah. That's good. So what I was going to say, if you go to Tai Chi, I think
Hmm.
it's there are different forms, and you will find it quite good because in the end you can also do Tai Chi on music. You can have music in the background,
Mm.
so it can really help.
Mm.
So I would definitely go for that.
Oh. I'm grateful
But
for ecstatic dance, for finding out about ecstatic dance
oh,
when my son and I moved to Asheville in 2016, 2017, somewhere in there.
uh-huh.
And it free form dance.
Mm,
But what it helped me, it helped me to move through everything that you talk about not being able to be spontaneous. And it helped me to move through all of that in a space with other people, because
wow.
it's the judgment of other people that creates additional pressure. If you were in a room by yourself, there's just you in your own head. But then
Mhm.
once you add other people, is you in your own head who is affected by all the other people and what they think of you and all of that. So all of that conversation comes around. And it helped me with working through my body image issues of moving
It,
freely in space. Because again, that body issue stuff comes about comparison with other people. And it was the continual putting my face into it every single week that really helped me a lot with freeing up everything, because these are, I say that my singing was a journey that started from very, very little, about having the desire to want to sing, but
mhm.
my voice being shut down because I was not allowed to express myself as a child, not allowed to
Yep.
say no as a child, not allowed to make choices as a child. So all of that just affected my singing and my desire to even be heard, right?
Yeah.
So for me, there was so much untraining along the way that was involved for me to be able to open my voice. Like, I remember the first time I screamed at the top of my lungs was
Oh,
probably a few years ago, like 4 or
yep.
5 years ago.
Yep.
And I
I
was
was going.
like,
I thought it was when you were young, and I was thinking, "Wow, that's great. You had the space, but you haven't. So no, no way."
no, that only happened 4 or 5 years ago. And when I had this release of this primal sound, I immediately knew it had been held in me for so long.
Yeah.
The be the good girl, all the niceness, all the politeness, all the
Mm,
conformity of what others needed me to be, and
yeah.
me feeling I'm not real unless I'm reflecting that picture back to you.
Oh yeah.
Like, if this is a way for you to accept me, I will take this role on. I
Yeah.
will pretend it as best as I can, because I had learned how to be a chameleon. We all learn how to be a chameleon. We're one person at work. We're one person at home. We're one person at home when somebody comes to visit us in that home. We're
Mm,
one person when we're out in the grocery store. We have all these different personas that we don't even realize, because they've been so learned from so early,
mm,
So if somebody had said to me, like, for example, when I started learning Thai massage, and one of the people I wanted to practice on was my mother.
yeah.
And so I would say to my mother, I would feel her really stiff and tight and holding, and I'd go,
Mhm.
relax. And she'd go, I am relaxed. I am relaxed. But when you don't know. You just
Yeah.
don't know.
No.
You really do believe that you are relaxed. Meanwhile, the other person is touching your body or not even needing to touch your body. And they can see how like a board you are on top. You're not melted into the ground in any way. You aren't surrendered in any way, you know? And those are the types of things that it's difficult for me to be able to point out to someone, because unless you have your own lived experience of that, where you compare, oh my God, I was tense, but I only know I was tense then because I'm relaxed now.
But
At
you need
least
to
I'm
have a
more
point of
relaxed now.
reference. It needs to be a
Yes.
point of reference with, as I said, maybe your mom, you know, where she comes from a lineage where, you know, they had absolutely no clue how else to be in a different way. And but luckily you broke the pattern, you know, you broke that chain.
My mother wouldn't agree with you. You just said, luckily I broke the pattern. I'm like, if my mother was to hear that shit from you, she'd go, who is this Corina woman? She's crazy. What's she talking about? She broke the pattern. No, it's not a good thing. She should be more like me. She should be going to church like what she was doing before.
Oh dear, right. Well, I mean, she would be very good friends with my mother. I mean, I can tell you that, you know, she would have been a lot of very great friends. Yeah, no, we know them, we recognize them, but see, the thing is that they pass on all of these things onto us. And just as you said, we were not. It's really hard not to be allowed to be a child, to express things as a child, or to have the responsibilities of a child, which is to play.
Yeah,
a child plays.
yeah.
But again, when a child plays, a child understands the world through playing and understands his place in the universe and in the world. But when play was not there with responsibility, that's when you don't know even how to rest, because you never play, because you play and then you rest. You know, it's automatically in a child. But when it was not part of the pattern, to go back into mom, not part of the pattern, you have no clue. It's like, you know, they're like wiring, I think. It's like the wiring, you know, there is not created in the brain in terms of when do I know that I need to rest? Sometimes we go through the point of no return, you know, we have no clue where we go, like, because we have this kind of a self-regulation thing in the body. We keep going. We feel tired, but it doesn't matter because we don't stop. We've been told to keep going.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I think that's
We've been told and given an image of what a successful life is, and we try our best to paint within those lines, you know, to create within those lines. And it takes a lot for one to go, you know, this isn't working. I mean, like, it's never worked, but it really isn't working. And when is it that I'm going to take up the life that I want to live? When is that going to happen? Because I've been living this other life up until, you know, I was like 55 before I surrendered everything. Because I had tried my best to live that other life and to be successful. I wanted to be successful at that other life. And it just was not happening for me. You know?
I hear you. And so isn't it incredible? Because then you start feeling the thing and you say, how we've been pushed in a direction, or we've been promised, you know, you will be a good girl and your life will be good. Yeah. And again, I come from a different system as well. Remember, I come from communism. So I lived in communism for 20 years. So I was already in a university year 3. And, you know, you are on a path. You know, you study very hard. You know, studying in Romania was really very tough. So we had so many exams, you would cry. So my life were exams. You know, from the age of whatever, from 12, I started to prepare very tough stuff. You know, if you're not taking it, you are excluded. You are in a second rate grade. You know,
Right.
type of citizen. So you only do that. There's no type of, my mother used to say, oh, you'll have time when you're going to get married to have some fun, or something like that, Now you study, that's it. You don't do anything else, There were no, so imagine when you are 20, like I was in my generation, a revolution came. The whole system, value system, everything turned upside down. So
right at the time of puberty coming.
Yeah.
That's a lot that happened to you, huh?
Ginormous transformations, and then you say, okay, now it is this direction, now it's a different so you adapt and you embrace a different system by you are like metaphorically speaking, you have one coat with one arm from one very heavy coat and another coat is like a summer, and you are trying to balance this to say who the hell am I now, who am I in this type of environment. So you have on your shoulders new values, the new regime that the so-called democracy puts on you. So you're constantly trying to adapt and be on your knees and then be successful, as you said, in the normal sense. You've got a great job now, great pay, and so on. You are successful, but nobody tells you, like nobody told us. We were just like the new beginning. For example, we were used to work, I don't know, Saturday, Sunday with a lot of enthusiasm. It was advertising and so on, but it was people were taking us for granted. They were taking advantage of us. Again, but life was work. Again, before life was studying, so anyway, life was studying and then life was work.
Right.
So definitely the systems push you in directions. And if there's nobody, like you very well mentioned, if there's nobody to intersect and to put a spotlight, different things
of another alternative.
Yeah. You have you don't know. It's like you don't, like you go on the same street many, many times, but you don't look up. You don't see that's, what is on top. Oh, you say, oh, wow, that's a nice architecture, but you see only, you say, oh, I wonder why is this, because it was an experiment. Some people were taking pictures, the top of the buildings and then the levels and showing to people who were going there every day. And 99% people had no clue where those pictures of how beautiful architecture was from, because people look only at this level, because that's how it is with us. We don't look up, down, around. We are conditioned. We are conditioned. And probably just like you said, and then it comes a time when you say, where's my life? Where's my life?
So I noticed something. So you said 12, adolescence coming in, puberty coming in, and then the revolution happened at that same time.
And so 20 revolution.
The 20s. And then when you mentioned about 35, I heard you married, you moved, your father died, you started painting by numbers.
Yes.
That is a lot as well, too. That's a lot of upheaval.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. And there's nobody to talk to or to reflect with all of that, and that's why they say that after 50, things hit you a bit. I mean, you start sort of processing what was because you are in the middle of the fight, so called, things coming.
Yeah.
Another thing is coming on your head and another one and another one. You're trying to run like a tsunami. You are constantly going through the tsunami. And then when you are a little bit with one foot out of the tsunami, you look and you say, holy cow, that was a lot on your own. On your own, you say, I'm like a stork, on one leg, it's a single lonely stork, sort of. So say how much one survived. But we do survive life. I think we survive life in many instances. So a lot of upheaval and a lot of traumatic times for us. It was especially for a lot for the Eastern Europeans, when very few people understand the extent to what happened to us as nations,
Mm-hmm.
and then going to the individual, because we all experience these national traumas in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's an interesting topic to talk about, and only creativity. I think for me, I think creativity, for singing, using instruments, painting. This need to be like in the curriculum for everybody to recover. That's how you recover. That's how you come back to yourself. It's how you how you how do you call it? Discover who you were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Who you were supposed to be. Probably the same with you. Just imagine if you found your voice, and with this freedom, with this sort of vulnerability, with this abandonment, when you were, 30 years ago. Can you imagine? Can you imagine discovering that and being able to be so free? Because I'm in awe of because you are so present as well. Oh my gosh, you're present, and you hold the space with so much grace. Which for me, it moves me, because I'm thinking, wow. So you know who you are. You know who you are.
I believe, just like you, I know who I am now because I tried so many other ways of being that realized, no, they're not me. They're not me. I think probably the first 50 years of my life was just, oh, no, that's not me. Oh, that's not me.
Like cards, another one, not this one, throwing them around.
Yes,
Oh
the
gosh, and you
clothing
say,
styles, men would call my house and they'd hear my mother speak, and she was so soft voice, and they would be like, "Oh, was that your sister?" And I'm like, "No, that's my mother, asshole." And I could hear how they wanted that type of softness. And I was like, I can't give that. I'm sorry. I can't surrender that much of myself. I'm already surrendered enough that I don't even know that I'm aware of, that I've surrendered in order to fit in with you. But no, I can't even surrender that much to you, to get to that level. What is it? Randolph has written something. Also a lover of drums. For me, some rhythms make an easy, strong connection with my beating heart and inhale, exhale cycles. Seems to ground me in the moment. Yeah. It's grounding, but I fly all at the same time. I'm having, I feel the most in my body that I have ever felt. And at the same time, I feel like I'm everything all at the same time,
Yeah.
And that's taken practice, that has taken practice with me hearing it and channeling it. Because before, when I first started, if I heard any drums anywhere, sounds would start to come out to me. It was like it's like I describe myself as having Tourette's. I'd have these.
So you always that, and I'm with the pen. My hand is going like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Do
get
you
it.
have any? Do you have any sense of how art has changed you?
Oh yes. Oh, it's first of all, it's because of art and creativity, I exist. I'm still here. I think
Yeah.
it is such a big role, because it's like a guiding light, you know. It's just like a guiding light. Because I don't do meditation or this stuff. For me, it's I've tried, been there, done it. I don't get anywhere close to the peace and the energy that I have when I'm drawing or when I'm painting, or nowhere near. So after trying both of the stuff, I said, why don't you stick to what works for you?
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
That's my meditation. If everybody needs to meditate, I meditate in this way. Thank you so much. But it changed me a lot, because that was a way to self-express. I felt, because I was thinking before, it was no other. I was expressing through clothes, but again, it was business clothes. So very different. But that gave me a voice.
Yeah.
That gave me the voice.
And And I'm interested in you as a woman with this awakening of art and energy and a connection with spirit, and the fact that you're still married. No,
Oh, I
not
like
to
that.
say no, no, and I don't want it to imply that they are exclusive. I just want to. My thing is that my choice on being single my entire life has been that there is no man that I have ever met who has actually, besides the romance time period,
Mm-hmm.
the love bombing time period,
Yeah.
where my welfare was and my evolution, my transformation, my realization has been a priority within the relationship for that man. You
Mm.
know, it was give you a little bit because I want you to give me a lot.
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
that kind of a thing. And what I've often heard is that women, when they have a spiritual awakening, it affects their relationship to such an extent that in choosing, they decide at some point, I'm going to choose my awakening over this relationship because the relationship isn't supporting or encouraging my awakening. So how is that for you?
Oh gosh, that's quite a topic, my lovely. Oh gosh. Ooh. Um.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry it
I'll,
has changed. It has
oh,
changed.
it's I have to say it's very complex. But what I'm going to say is that if I were to start my life again, I would not get
Hmm.
married.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Um. But again,
I recognized when I was in my 20s, by my early 20s, it was very clear to me that women had the short end of the stick.
uh,
It, you know?
no, not in my case. See, that's interesting because remember, communist country, very different
Yeah.
mentality, and I
Yeah.
come from mixed family, Russian,
Right.
Romanian. Very.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not only. So it's for me. I'm unique, and I'm not because
Yeah.
I'm given airs and graces.
We're all
I'm so
unique.
unique. No,
Yeah.
I'm unique in the pain, in the painful connection of having two people from the two different cultures in a
Uh-huh.
country like Romania, where the Russians were not very well perceived when I was born, they were very much they were appreciated for a while, and then not.
All
A
right.
lot of dynamics, it is social dynamics, again, family dynamics, which created me the way I was. So no, in
Yes.
my family, my mother was very bolshy, very strong, and very very cruel. I would say that's
Mm.
why I know she was a narcissist.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I was not fitting, but my father was her victim, and I was a rescuer.
Mm. Mm.
I took it upon my shoulders, to be the one in between, to keep the peace, to keep them alive.
Right. Oh,
So
okay.
that was so yes. So I had a different connection with a man. I the notion of a man. I think that I wanted.
But in your larger society outside of your home,
Mhm.
it didn't look as if women were at a big disadvantage comparison to men, or how
See,
were the roles in communist Romania?
yeah, that's a
Was
very
there a
good
sense of
question.
equity?
Oh no, no. It was not at all. However, see, because I had no other in other inter. I haven't seen anything else other than what I was exposed to. It was for me. It was
Right.
normal. That's the thing.
Right.
So
Right.
women in Romania, women were, I think, 85% of women were working. So they were not staying
Right.
at stay-at-home moms. In the
Mm-hmm.
communist system, we didn't have that, stick with the child until they're 6 or 7 or whatever we did in the West. No.
Right.
So my mother went back to work when I was 3 months old.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So when I
Mm-hmm.
was being left with one little young girl, one elderly woman, so I was just,
Right.
and so you don't have, no, women did not have it easy, but however, it was the type of pressures were not the ones like you have nowadays. I think that nowadays is tougher. I think that
Mm-hmm.
nowadays is much tougher from the pressures of the society, the environment, everything is high. The ones who have are much and want to not have a huge gap in between, which is not in communism. It was more egalitarian. It was only a very niche group which was better, but the rest we were very equal. It was an egalitarian society, and that's what I was used to, and that's what
was
I was
this the
taught when I
move of
came here.
capitalism? Was this the move of capitalism into Romania that created these hierarchies and these class distinctions more?
Even more, yeah. But again, I live in England, and it took me many years to realize how, they say that in India there was segregation and so on, but I mean, come on. I mean, look who's talking.
Yeah.
I'm laughing now, it's the class system here. It's terrible, if it's very hard to jump from one to another, it's like going on a highway, but on parallel things, sometimes they don't even see each other, they don't see the differences at all. But coming back to your question about the women and their role, I think that women had they were quite strong in the household, They were quite strong there behind the scenes, especially if they came from a tribe, sort of, from a lineage with other women, with auntie, uncles, if they were same society around each other. It gave, I think, the women a different place, because they're much more like you had some matriarch, strong there, and there was the one like in Italy. In Italy, you have the women are really, they set the tone of the music there. So yeah, it was very, very different. But instead of that, coming back to the marriage and so on, that's why. So I looked for a father. I looked to have a father, more. Because of that, So.
Yes.
But I wouldn't do
and
that.
I did too. I was engaged. I've been engaged twice when I was once in my 20s and once they were both in my 20s. And so I was looking for that out, that exit, that was also supposed to be part of the plan for me as a woman. But there was something within me that always kind of felt like it was a trap. Like once I got in, because it's bad enough when you're in a relationship that you're not married, how much you will self-abandon in order for the relationship to go smoothly. How you will be that emotional buffer and the processor and the what's the word? Compromiser and all of those things, and you're not even married. So I could only imagine me intensifying that if I was married, because now there's this whole perception, the image of me. I've become Mrs. So-and-so. And what if I get a divorce and then I'm going to, leave my house and my neighborhood and my social group and all of that kind of stuff. There was something in me that said that was going to be a trap, that I would lose myself. Just like I've experimented with drugs when in my 20s and 30s. But what kept, like things like no needles. We're not doing any needles. You want to sniff, you want to smoke, you go ahead, but we're not doing any needles, because there was something in me that said you can go too far and then we're going to miss it. We're going to miss this life, And so though I understand now that those behaviors, just like sex and wanting to shop and all of those behaviors are a coping mechanism in a dysfunctional society. But you don't even know. You think that you're the dysfunction, that the society is fine. And you're thinking you're the dysfunction. So you're trying your best to conform as much as possible, right? And no, it turns out it was a society that was dysfunctional the whole time.
Correct. Absolutely. But that's, when I realized that, and I realized that only about a year ago only. I'm a very, very slow to get to understand things, very slow. It takes me a while. because because I keep trying to get it's me. I'm Kimsey. I need to adapt. I need to. It's like to chop a bit for myself here, chop a bit here, chop a bit there to fit in, like the Procrustean bed. I need to swap the legs. You jump on one leg and you still, to fit in. And you think, oh, then I'll get it. And there's nothing to get. It's not you. Now, I just say it's not you. It's a society. It's a script that the society creates, and it's shocking also to see how the system erases memories, and it tries to erase habits, tries to erase also what you know it's right, and it twists your brain. You say maybe actually I'm wrong actually. So it gets you on so many. You're skating. You're skating all the time. You are not steady on your feet. But it's not because of you, because of society suddenly put you on skates, and when you thought that you were walking on solid ground, but no, they said no, off you go now on this direction, because that's the way. And it really messes with all of us. And then you realize that's why it's like you keep trying to fit in. You keep saying, if I'll do that, that will be it. But that's never it. And marriage is part of that as well. And the whole how do you call it? It's the whole dynamic and the traumas that people bring in, and you have to say you are the one who needs to accommodate everybody's traumas.
Right.
And and that's why you erase yourself. It's self-erasure. And I'm going to write soon about this notion of self-erasure, because it's something that many women do, especially women who come from a traumatic background.
Right.
Because for us, it's sort of is what we know, and we do it easily. In a childhood, you erase yourselves to make peace, to serve your parents, to make sure that they are, not at each other's throats more than necessary, to shout for help here, there. So you are, and you carry on with the same pattern, even if you, because that's your normal. See, that's your normal, and it's uncomfortable like hell. And painful like hell. And that's when you start shouting through music, and you start shouting through, like me, through my colors. And, that's what we do. But it is lonely. I find it lonely. And that's why, like, I like when you mentioned that you went on Facebook and how it opened something, because that's what it did with me years ago when I started to post my art, because it takes two to tango. We are performers. We need an audience, Yes, I paint and I draw, but I put it on my notebook and it's there. I know I still don't need to share. It's normal, It has nothing to do with showing off. No, it's everything to do with saying, I'm alive, I'm here, I create. I want to share this with you because you might resonate with that.
Right.
You might really, it might speak to you in a way which you don't even know. That's how it is with your music. When I listen to it, I said, there's somebody who understands me.
Oh,
that's what I feel when I listen to
wonderful.
you. That's somebody who gets me, and it's priceless.
When you were talking, I got this image of going to the movie theater. Have you gone to a movie theater by yourself? Watched a movie
in
by
Romania
yourself?
many times, yeah.
Okay. And so you've been in those times when you've gone to the movie by yourself, and it's such a good movie, and you think, it would be so nice to have somebody that after the movie we could go and have a little chat about this movie and these different parts. That's how I felt like my writing in Facebook, and that's how my writing on Substack is.
Yes.
There's this movie I'm watching, and I'd really love to talk about it with you. And are you seeing the same movie? Are you explaining, how did it hit you? And so it's less about having an audience as much as it's about, can you relate to this? And I don't know if I want somebody to come back and go, oh, that's so normal. I'm not too sure if I want validation, but it's like a journey. It's great to go on a journey, a great adventure on your own. And then there are moments on that adventure where you go, I really wish there was someone I could connect to have a conversation with about this journey, to tell them about what I'm experiencing, you know, and to ask them about what they're experiencing on their particular journey. And that's what I wanted to do with you. When I read your posts and I saw your art, I don't know why I I feel tearful. I feel emotional because when I read your essays, I felt like she's expressing what I have felt, and she's expressing it in a way that I wish I could have been able to explain and say and share. And I'm so grateful that her words are there to go, oh, that's how I wanted to say it. You know, this is someone who knows, who has felt my experience before. You
Yeah.
know, and so many of us, we don't even have that with the people who are in our physical lives. So that's why these conversations came about, because I'm like, I don't have this connection in my physical life, person right next to me that I could invite over to the pool house and have a tea or in a chat, right? But I still want that because we all need that. You know, we all need that, especially creative beings, especially beings that are expanding and transforming and realizing there's more out there than we were ever told was out there, you know, this journey is this wonderful, juicy adventure. And I'm like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it in my conditioning. I don't want to miss it in my obedience to society. I will miss my own journey if I keep being so obedient to them.
Oh, it's so, I mean, I can't tell you how much it speaks to me because I've been so trained to be obedient.
Yeah.
And I think probably with each and every drawing, I'm trying to peel this and to try it obsessively to peel this. And when you were speaking, the word that came to me was pilgrimage. It was Santiago de Compostela. So that when you were
Yes.
speaking, I was thinking exactly that we are like, like on this pilgrimage. And sometimes we stop and we chat and we go on together on parts of the road. And then we break and we go on our own, but then we meet again and we have
Yeah.
these sharings, this talking about the olive tree. Have you seen the olive tree there? And have you seen how full of olives it was? And have you seen the lemon tree? And have you tasted it? Have you tried it? So it's this, as I said,
Yeah.
it's going, but it's together even when one is not together on this journey. But then you stop and you're around the fire and you have a conversation like now. And I just like you say, it's harder sometimes to find people who share and who speak from a point of authenticity.
Yes.
It's harder to find in real life than here. So it's a blessing because I feel that you get it without me speaking, and I get it without you speaking, and
Yes.
but that comes from being open, being vulnerable, and recognizing life for what it is, and
Yes.
having and not being born with a silver spoon in our mouth. And
Yes.
as I said, having been there, having been through the trenches, and really acknowledging it was a struggle.
Yeah.
It was a
Yes.
struggle. I won't beautify. I won't put unicorns. There were
Yes.
unicorns who got
Yes.
us
Yes.
going, the angels, whatever. But it was a
Yeah.
struggle. Don't put.
Yes.
As I said,
There were
it's
some parts of it that were terrifying that I thought
yes,
that, yes,
exactly.
that I would
Talk
be
about that,
completely
and then let's
annihilated.
go. Yeah, exactly. And talk
Yes.
about it about 10 times, 20 times. There's no limit. You let go when it is ready to let go, and you talk about the beauty of art and music, but that music is full of pain, which is
Yes.
which talks about my pain. When when your sounds come out and the drum speaks about my pain that I cannot express through sound, but you express it for me. You are
Yeah.
doing it for me through the sound. So I'm grateful for that, and I can't thank you enough because this helps me carry on. It helps me carry on.
And you draw for me. You write for me. You draw for me. Your photographs. It's like, that time that I commented about, it would be nice if I had it live right there. But there's something about the way that you take photographs that I look at it and it's like, oh, I see it. She's causing me to pause and to really see it and be with this in this moment. And I'm just so grateful for that as well. The importance of art and the creativity and the sharing that.
Yeah. It's an act of a service. It's an act of service for ourselves first, and then for others. That's what I take it. It's an act. It's service, and also and again, it's also it's acknowledging being um without being new age. Acknowledging through an image. Yes, that this is beautiful. I wanted to capture that moment. That was it. I don't need to say it was beautiful. I don't need to say I'm grateful for that. You know, don't give me that shit because I'm not buying it anymore. Can you imagine? I mean, it's ridiculous now when they say, "Oh, and now write it down." No, I'm taking a picture. That maybe for me it's gratitude. I don't need to say it. I am grateful that I took a picture of a flower. No, let me be. Isn't it? Let me be. I'm doing that. I don't need to explain why. This is where I am now. I'm just saying it. I'm not buying that, and I'm saying it with confidence. I don't care who comes and says, no, you need to look at it. No, I look in this way because that's me, and I'm happy with that. Very happy. Thank you so much. I'm really, I take full responsibility for the way I see life now. Full responsibility.
Being able to appreciate our own ways of processing and our own ways of creating and that it, you realize this is not something for me to impose on anyone. This is a journey that I had alone with myself, that I discovered with myself. And everyone has to have that, what's the word? Pilgrimage.
Yes.
Everyone needs that pilgrimage for themselves, to live it in themselves, that we live in this time period where people think that they can hack it. There's a shortcut to it. Let's cut out all that other self-development that happens as a process, and let's just get to the process.
Yeah. I despair.
Let's get to the results.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going to play now sort of Chopin. I mean, in 5 lessons, you're going to play Chopin in 5 lessons. I mean, I despair. I think my English teacher would be horrified. She would just want to smack all of these people and say, "What are you talking about?" Or learn a language in 5 sessions. Are you bloody killing me? I mean, but you know what it is? They are taking the piss for me. I speak language, but it took me years, and I'm still learning. I mean, how can anybody say, "Oh, you are learning it, you're going to know to speak like a native"? Oh, really? Oh, don't tell me. Oh, really? I mean, let me show you a fifth now. But they're taking the piss. I think that these people are stupid, And it's the same with the whole movement of gratitude, la la la. But where are you? I mean, they pile it on top of you, and you don't know where you are. Of course, you don't know where you are. You know where you are. You are, underneath all of this crap piled and lies and deception and things. That's why it's ridiculous, isn't it? That's why we shake people up. We need to shake them up. And you know what we are as well? What you are? You are we are Sputniki. I love this word in Russian, Sputnik.
Sputniking. What does that mean? I know that was the name of a mission, wasn't it?
It was a mission. But you know what it is? Sputnik is a traveling companion. It's a trusted traveling companion. It's somebody, the one who is your Sputnik, is somebody you've tried, you tested, you trust in that person, it's a trusted person, the word is companion, a trusted companion, but
Right.
it's beautiful in Russian. It has such a warm feeling, and so there's a lot of story behind the word, because the word
Right.
means those people have a past together.
Right.
They've
A
been through
shared
things,
past
and
together.
yeah, sharing paths. They are
Sputniking.
really solid, and they are for each other. They have each other's back. You
Right.
know. So
So
you're
was it
my
your
Sputnik.
father that was, sorry?
You are my Sputnik.
And then you're my Sputnik too. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. We are
Yes.
Sputniki. We are Sputniki on
And I'm
this
so,
pilgrimage. Yeah, my
so
mother was
happy.
Russian. My mother was
Your
Russian. My
mother was
father was
Russian.
Romanian. Yeah.
Right. So tell me, do you speak Russian as well as Romanian as well as
Yeah.
English? Uh-huh. What
Yeah.
other languages do you speak?
A little bit. I studied Spanish in
Uh-huh.
late at night after work in Romania at Cervantes, so I can still understand, but I can't. It's a bit rusty in terms of speaking. I haven't had a chance to practice, but yeah,
Right.
I still love this as well, and
So you
I
chose
love the
Spanish
language.
you chose Spanish because you like the sound, you wanted to go to Spain. What?
No, 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 no. It's
Flamenco?
it's
Is it?
I like this when you say you wanted to go to Spain. No, I know at the time I had no clue. I mean, I was just going to Russia at the time because I was my family was in Russia, so you couldn't travel much at the time. No,
Uh-huh.
but
Right.
see, that's an interesting bit. That was the beauty of being born in a communist country, which I say there I was lucky to be born then, because you were doing things because to enhance your knowledge. So we,
Right.
we studied in school, really proper studying languages, Russian, French, Spanish. But I wanted Spanish because in Bucharest, it was an institute called Cervantes Institute, and you
Uh-huh.
could go and borrow books. So for me, it was, being able to read in a different language. So
Uh-huh.
I loved the sound. I loved Julio Iglesias,
Right.
which was very popular
Uh-huh.
in Romania. So
Yeah.
I wanted to
Uh-huh.
understand what he was singing over there about. And yeah,
Oh,
so that was one of the reasons. But I love languages. I love. If I had the money, I would just study, read, study,
yes.
paint, learn
Yeah.
something new, and yeah, that's because you don't. It's not only a language for me; it's a world. You
Mm.
meet a world, you enter into a
Yes.
different world, and
Yes.
uh, you're able to, now talking about nowadays, you're able to get information from different sources, and you realize
Right.
how different they are. The same information delivered in
Yes.
different ways, and you say, "Wowie!"
Yes. Yeah.
You are less vulnerable, intellectually.
And what's interesting to me is that there are times that I am watching a Spanish movie and I put on the English subtitles
Hmm.
because I'm not able to practice as much as when I was living in Panama. And there are sometimes that I'm watching a movie in Italian because of the gift of corporate Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm reading the subtitles in English because I want to partly see how would they translate that. And I often go, you know what? Even that it's best for you to learn the language. Don't rely on somebody to give you a translation in the subtitles because a lot of times they're not accurate in
Mm.
how they are translating,
Oh yeah.
and so it's important that you should go ahead and study the language anyway. But that is also something I've been fascinated. Geography was one of the classes I was the most excited about. Seeing
Hmm.
the globe excited me to no end. Seeing the names of different countries and islands and places. I dreamed up all kinds of things
Mm.
that were just, it just seems so to be discovered,
Yep.
And languages for me was like, I want to be able to communicate with them directly. I don't want to have a translator, I
Mm.
want to be able to have a sense of how this language is conveying their culture and their history because of
Yeah.
how they express things,
Oh.
I think that's fascinating too. So let me look. Randolph has got something. A favorite line from a Winnie the Pooh story. What is the most important part of life's journey? Those companions I see and who see me. Yeah.
Oh. That's so good. I mean, I love that. You need to copy it to say it because I like that. How beautiful it is. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Randolph, I don't know how to be able to do it because I'm on my phone. But if you could copy and paste that comment and put it in a message for me, then I can forward it to you, Corina.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. That would be
Yeah, because I
lovely.
used to love Winnie the Pooh. I used to read Winnie the Pooh for my son. Loved him.
Oh,
And there was
I
so
don't
much
know it.
wisdom in that very simple book, right?
Oh, I need to look it up. I have no idea. It was not
Winnie the
growing up.
Pooh.
No, it
Oh,
was.
it's like I don't know the stories that go along with it, but what's it? A Paddington Bear? That's a big thing
I
in the
know what the
UK.
yeah, Petting the Bear. I know because it is in petting at the station you have people buy
Yes.
that. That's why I know
Yes.
it. But yeah,
Yes, but I don't know if Paddington Bear was as wise as Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, no, so this is special. We'll go with Winnie the Pooh then. Definitely, I'm going to look it up and find maybe in a charity shop because it sounds familiar. But it's a great words because you see I think they universal, aren't they? These type of words about companion, about
Yeah.
they're universal, and we need to be reminded of that because I think that nowadays everything is so much harsher. These are for me. This is like it's like a movement of a willow tree, when you hear about this kind of words and this kind of everything now it's staccato. Everything is really harsh, staccato, corners.
Mhm.
Um, it, there's no fluidity. These things bring us back to being more fluid and realizing that what is happening nowadays is an accident. I
Mm.
say it is an accident. It is not normal. It is just like we went through a door as a civilization, so called, which
Mhm.
was actually, and we didn't realize where that it will take us, it will derail us from who
Yes.
we really are as a species. I
Yes.
think. Uh,
Yes.
so
But I
that's
think it kind of goes back to what we were talking at a certain point, that when you don't realize you're not relaxed until you
mm-hmm,
get relaxed.
yeah,
So it's as if what we are discovering now is what we've missed. What we've missed in the urge for progress, what
yeah,
we missed in the urge for continual growth, material comfort,
mm,
that
mm,
there are basic foundational ingredients that we missed along the way. And
yeah,
now we realize that we missed it because we're so chaotic, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Randolph says I'll put it in a comment when you post this on Substack or YouTube.
Oh,
Yes.
good, good.
Thank you.
Yay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Randolph. Thank you.
Lovely. But you see,
So,
it's so spot on, but that this chaos exactly removes ourselves from ourselves, and we what it made me realize even more is how much systems, as I said, change. I mean, how to erase the memory of people, and you think that
mm,
just think about even how I have no confidence in what I'm being told now that happened 100 years ago or 200 years ago, and none whatsoever. You know what? Because I see in my time during the so-called revolution in Romania, what were the words that were being spoken? Oh, this would happen.
yes,
And then 10 days later, something else was being said it could happen. And now 36 years
yes,
later, something else is being said. So in my
yes,
lifetime, I have no
yes,
clue what happened for real.
yes,
And people want me to believe that they know what happened 100 years ago exactly,
right,
or 200, and they say, "Oh no,
yes,
it was really bad. People were struggling." Oh, really? How do you know? How do you know?
yes,
I have even,
yeah,
and because they're constantly trying to make us feel as if, oh, this is paradise now compared to 100
right,
years ago, and they
yeah,
don't
yeah,
tell us,
yeah,
and it's actually it's complete lie. They make because they make us to think that whatever we see is not true. We think
right.
that we are struggling and say, no, 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 you're not struggling. You are. If you only knew how it was 100 years ago, oh, now you are so lucky. Oh gosh, go and get another beer. Go and get another thing. Whoops, off you go. Get some crisp going. Get another
No,
thing. Happy girl.
I like the
Nice.
story. I like the story that religion says, "Oh, don't worry if it's hell here. You're going to go to heaven. When you die, you'll go to heaven."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's going to be. Oh, just wait and see. Oh,
Right?
really?
And it took me until my 60s to realize, my late 50s, early 60s to realize,
Mm,
actually, this is the heaven. This earth that has given us so much bounty is the
mm,
heaven that they were talking about in the Bible. And they managed to take that and twist it up and say, no, you have to earn your way to heaven.
yeah,
When you die, that's when you'll go to heaven. As they slowly made this place into a hell, right?
correct.
They
Yep,
made it into a living hell and convinced us, you know what? It's no problem. When you die, you'll go to heaven,
yep,
right? You're
absolutely.
doing
Set up.
all of this in hell now so that you'll go to heaven afterwards, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how despotic they are, how deranged, if it's just ridiculous. And they said, "Oh, no worries, well, we'll sprinkle you with a bit more chemtrails, and you're going
Yes.
to be pickled."
Yes. Yes.
We'll pickle you
Yes.
with things now. And and don't go and pick anything from the forest because it's a no, it's a species or whatever. So the entire thing is going. It's making you more and more isolated, more and more
Right.
isolated. I'm not going out or whatever. So, and even the self-expression, it's all in between boundaries. Oh, let
Mm-hmm.
me, that's what I don't know if you've noticed about the art. So many things now. Everybody's, now do this pottery, do this. I mean, it's a
Mm-hmm.
constant do.
Mm-hmm.
People
Mm-hmm.
try this,
Mm-hmm.
try the other, try the other. People are this. I mean, I've seen that it does not help people rest because they constantly chase. They say
Yes.
for today I'm going to do a
Yes.
pot, and tomorrow I'm going to paint, and then I'm going to sing, and I'm going to learn a language in 5 days, and I'm going
Mm.
to learn how to drum in 2 days. Actually,
Right. Uh,
quickly. So
uh-huh.
see, even this has been promoted in such how do you call it, in such a twisted way because people are
Mm-hmm.
not rested because they will chase for
Right.
something else. There's no rest.
Yeah.
I mean, you are one of the again. You are doing your thing because you are how do you you're embracing a craft. This is life for you. It's like that's what you need
Right.
to have one thing
Yeah.
or two, which are
Right.
like an extension of you, and
Yes.
that's where you have you communicate with an
Yeah.
instrument. You communicate with a brush, but you can't communicate with a brush in the garden, and then you on the bike and on you. Yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
it. You need
Mm-hmm.
to commit. It's like a relationship, isn't it? You
Yeah.
commit. You don't
Yeah.
cheat all the time with a different thing. Think
Yeah.
I'm going to be fantastic in 2 days, and now I'm going to change my mind. Oh, I'm going to do
Yeah.
something else now.
Yes.
But
It is, but you mentioned about rest and you were talking about play before.
mm,
It was rest. It was in the tent. It was losing everything. There was nothing on the schedule anymore. And it was like God was going, okay, you ready for us now? You've been so busy. We haven't been able to catch your attention, but everything is cleared. The schedule has been cleared. Are you ready now? And me just going, okay, all right. You've been waiting for me long enough. Let me try this. Let me try this thing. Um, you were talking about the history about the Romanian Revolution and saying, that
mm.
every now and then you get while you were living it, you were hearing different things about what was going on.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
years after, you're still hearing different. I mean, like I shared what was a couple of weeks ago about the Bolshevik Revolution.
Uh-huh.
Revolution. I didn't know that that was orchestrated by Wall Street, right?
Exactly.
All they ever taught me in school about history was bullshit. It was a bunch of storytelling,
Yep.
instead of
Yep.
giving us the truth. But I don't know, I found myself thinking quite often, like, why the fuck are we here?
Oh, what such a good question. That's what I've asked myself many times. I think, what is the purpose? It must be a purpose. It must be a purpose. I don't know which one is it. Yes, that's a very good question because And in all of this mess, in all of this myriad, why am I born? Why are you born? Who are we in this sort of an entire universe, And you realize you probably will never know. It is so strange that we'll never know, isn't it? I mean, I think even I have some fishes in a here in front of me. They're swimming around. They know they have a life. They live 2 years, 3 years. That's it. But and they give birth to another fish. But how about us? Are we just the same? Just to like a plant, or
Yeah.
what is our purpose? And I think the only thing that comes to my head is this creation. Because we are to remind ourselves that we are co-creators
Mm-hmm.
of this world. I think that's the
Yeah.
only reason, just outside the achieving, outside this time and
Yes.
chasing
Yeah.
to achieve, to
Yeah.
be the director of that and the program manager of the other, and be
Oh.
um
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
Yeah.
All of these weights of we are, and then
Yeah.
what, to wait for retirement. Like I see many people around me, and many say, "Oh, now we are yuppie, we are going to do so many things." But you say, you don't know how long do you have. We have 2 years and you'll die. And what, now you're going to live your life?
Yes.
But can you see the model?
Yeah.
Because this is a model.
Yes.
This is a model that has been created.
Yes.
It's been,
Yes.
and it's been. I don't think it's an old model. Remember, it's about 100
Right.
years old model. Because my grandmother
Yes.
and maybe your grandmother had nothing to do with that model. They had their little plot of land, chickens,
Yes.
whatever, cows, whatever. They know why they were on Earth.
Right.
They know what their role they played in the community. I think that they were much more integrated, and they knew their purpose much more than
Right.
us. I mean,
Yeah.
surely more than me. I think with all of the
Yeah.
difficulty that she had, she knew more her place in
Yes.
the universe.
Right.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that there was certainly because there was kind of less time to be sitting there going, "What's my purpose in life?" You were so busy.
But they were also
Yeah.
resting, honey. They were also resting. Listen,
Yeah.
they were busy, but during the winter, they were not that busy.
They
They
knew
were
how to
resting. They were
rest
knitting. They
because
were
they
talking
moved
to us.
seasonally.
Yeah.
Yes, they moved with the seasons. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they were going to bed at 5 o'clock because it was dark. Yet they were
Yeah.
waking up at 4, but they had
Yeah.
10 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So
I remember one of the things that I loved about living in the tent is that my lifestyle changed so that when it got dark, I just went to sleep. Yes,
yeah.
I had a little light. I could stay there lit, but I realized that being so connected with outside, that there was a reason why my body was syncing up with the time of outside. And my body was just saying, it's time to rest now. And so I was sleeping anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a night,
Wow.
just for a couple of years, just to being able to recoup from the tiredness and the emotional exhaustion and the stress of modern life,
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Your body, as you said, it was your body was doing what body knows what to do if it's allowed to do that. If it doesn't
Yes.
have all of this bombardment of things which are
Right.
completely unnatural. And
Mm-hmm.
exactly, and we didn't need any melatonin or whatever it was,
Or melatonin, yes, to
yes,
adjust
nothing, no,
oneself.
nothing like that. But again, you had different your challenges, I'm sure, big time, because it's not easy. What you went through, that's not easy. It's really, it's it's like an earthquake. But because of the way you you were able to go through. But we're talking about it lightly, but it is not. I'm sure there is nothing light about there. You went through hell in
I
various
think
forms.
everybody, it's like you know that expression in the Bible. I think it's the valley of the shadow of evil or the shadow of death.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their boogeymen.
Mm.
And I had been yearning for freedom all of my life to know what freedom was, and I thought it was through these spiritual teachers that I was going to get what freedom is and how to get to freedom. And I realized that one of the freedoms that I was needing was the freedom for all the fears that I was having. That I was living in a constant state of low-key dread. When you're in financial situation for over a year where you're struggling to pay your rent, you're always in a state of this low-key dread. And what that did for me, it created the pressure to go, are you going to continue to hold this dread, or are you going to let it go? Because the dread isn't helping you with living whatever the situation is. In fact, a lot of times the dread is worse than the actual situation that comes up.
Yeah.
Right? There you are dreading, and you create all these scenarios of worst case scenarios. Your body and your emotions have to live through those whole worst case scenarios. And then when the situation happens, oh no, it wasn't that at all. So I had to do that over and over again to get to a point of, I surrender. I'm not going to go into worst case scenarios. There's nothing helpful about worst case scenarios. Right now, I need to remind my nervous system that we're safe. We're okay. Tomorrow is tomorrow. Right now is tonight. There's a lot of things that can happen in between tonight and tomorrow. And every single time it happened, something happened, Corina. Some answer came up and I go, you're actually taking care of me.
Wow.
There is, whether we call it a God or Jah, or we call it Allah or spirit or universe or all that is, or higher self, there is something that hears us, that is creating with us, right? And a lot of us are so entrenched into survival mode that a lot of what we are creating is more stress and more worry, right? Because we're in the survival of it all.
You can say it again. I resonate with this word so much. Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean, there were times I used to take my perfectionism to such an extent. There was a time when I had gone back to college and I was facing going to college that morning, and I hadn't studied as much as I had wanted to, and I needed to make an A or perfect score, as close to a perfect score as possible, because that would validate my existence as a human being as being worthy, right? And on the way there, thinking, maybe I just crashed my car. I'll just crash my car because I'm going to go into this exam and I'm going to do bad, and then I'm not going to get a grade. Maybe I just crashed my car, and I'll tell them that's why I wasn't able to show up for my exam, and I'll get the exam late. And then I go, no, we ain't going to crash the car. Let's just go. If we're going to fail, we're going to fail. And go to the exam and we make an A. We do the A, or we do the B plus, or we do the B or whatever. And when you do that enough times, you go, you know what? I really have to start being nicer to myself. I can't keep doing this to myself over and over again. Things generally work out better than I expect them to. So can I start from there rather than the habitual negative programming, which is, oh, it's going to be fucked up. Oh, it's going to be a really disaster. You know? What if I leaned into something is looking after me and it's going to be taken care of?
That's a very, in a way, there are two concepts here for me. One, it's that there is some entity, something out there who watches over us, and another thing, it's us reminding ourselves that we've been through a similar situation. We had the same words, and it was absolutely fine, because here it is in a way, it's like Penelope, Penelope from the Greek mythology. So she was knitting during the day, and during the night, everything, she was undoing everything and starting all over again in the morning, knitting, and then all over again doing that. It's the same glitch. It's as if we're like a fish. We have no memory. We forget that, we said those words to ourselves already. We self-flagellated already. I mean, been there, done it. Come on, girl. I mean, you've done it already. You've been there. You've said those words. Stop it. But see, it's like a glitch in the system. It's like a glitch. We just forget. It's like for that second, 2, 5 things when we are in this terror, we forget that we've said the words and it's fine. But the terror is real. See how it is. It's so real. Because like you, it's so funny when you were saying, because I remember when I was going to exams, I was thinking, oh, maybe the bus is going to crash, maybe and I won't get to school, and I'm going to have a reason why I'm not there, Yeah, it's so even it's just like, and the mind is in a frenzy, you're saying, what else can I think about? What another idea. But it's real, and then now years later, I laugh at that. But when we were in those shoes, by God, everything was trembling inside, and you go there like going to a slaughter, for those. It felt like that. And look how many great cells we killed.
Yes. Everything was life-threatening.
Absolutely. Yeah, but they were making it like that, honey. Because they were making it, if you don't get the exam, you're going to have to repeat the year, for example. Or your parents were going to really shout at you, get you. We're going to be how do you call it? The neighbors are going to, they will know when you're going to, you're the shame of the family. You're the pressure was real, but there were the other ones around us were doing it. And then we were happily, no problem. I'm going to make even a bigger story in my head because I have the support around me. Oh, so-called support, people in the, shouting from the edges. So, but coming back to again, the society, family systems, putting the pressure on each other.
A great indication that we'd already been programmed significantly. That was definitely one of the signs. Yeah.
That's
hoping for the bus to crash or crashing a car into some.
You see, same concept, different scenario, but it's the same thing, same script. The script is identical. Maybe somebody else was just saying just jumping in a lake, or we create something which is familiar, which is part of our context, but the meaning the same. It's ancestral. It's in our each other. It's in the blood, in the milk we are sucking in the when we're born. It's just incredible.
It is in the water that we are swimming in, and we don't realize until we fly out. It's like, oh my God, I was in water. Shit, I'm back in water. Oh my God, I'm out. All right. So it is 6:42 here, and I know that it is late, 11:42 your time, and I could continue to talk to you at least for another hour, but it's too late for you. And I want to leave us with something so that we can talk again another time.
Oh, I want to talk again, and we have so much to talk about. Come on, girl, it's just the beginning. I mean, you're not going to go away now. We've opened the communication in this way. Now I'm going to chase you. I'm going to say I want another chat. Tell me about this part of your life. We'll take it. We have so much. We have libraries of ideas to sort of dissect and share, because this is life. Honestly, this is life. This is energy. This is it's oxygen, and I'm so grateful that for this conversation, for the space you've created. I can't tell you how grateful I am, because I know how it is not to have that, my friend. So I'm deeply, deeply honored, grateful, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You are definitely my Sputnik. Yes?
We are Sputniki forever. We are. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Until our next conversation, my dear. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how beautiful this has been for me. Until the next time. Until the next time.
Until next time. Be well, my lovely. Blessings to you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.